Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. And you can see the 3 questions that have been asked. First, in the Austrian regulation for solar thermal input data, is it compliant to combine options from the 2 software sets, or selecting one software predetermines the full set of data to be used?
Yes, in fact, you can choose one software, so it's not possible to combine 2 software sets. So in fact, these are software. They are software companies. They offer a software, so it's a product you buy, and several software products are approved to do EPC calculations. So by selecting your software, in fact, you also influence your EPC result to a certain extent.
Okay, I think this is clear enough. So the selection takes place first at the level of the software companies who have selected what is compliant and made the combinations. But then when the user, which might be an inspector who uses the software, selects the kind of software that goes with a full specific set of data options.
Exactly, and this is possible because the rules are so, let's say, the range of interpretation is so large, you know. So in fact, our rules have to need improvement. Yeah. Okay,
very good. Second question: do you think that data needed for the eco-design and energy labeling directives will become more and more used as input data for national calculation methods of the energy performance of buildings?
I think it will be quite logical to do that. I think we have to look at the 10 standards which are already available. What is very important in terms of the eco-design and energy labeling directive scheme, so the EU energy label, the data quality could be an issue. So you know, there is they rely on self-declaration by manufacturers, and the control is based on market surveillance mechanisms. In 2013, there was a study. It was called Common Labels, and they revealed that control and enforcement is, let's say, not so strong in several countries. So the question is, how good is the data quality? So yeah.
Okay, so it's a separate question then about the quality, the specific quality in the specific country, for example, or regulation determining this kind of data specifications, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And third question: how can I make sure that the certified data, like Solar Keymark or Eurovent certification, can be used as an input data in a national calculation of the energy performance of a building?
I think this is how can I make sure? It's a little bit difficult to answer because it depends on how the procedure is, you know, how the development is going on in the countries. There are national product databases, and I think the requirements. I mean, there are national product databases, but in fact, also national product databases must not pose a barrier to free movement of goods and services if they are mandatory. So. so some databases or some database operators offer a lot of additional services. For instance, they are not, let's say, exclusive. So they contain products, and these products hold several labels, you know. So, but it's very difficult to answer this in a general way, because it depends very much on the national procedures.
Okay, understood. And finally, a question that just came in: is there a national database covering all renewable energy systems or sources, products in the country, in the specific country, I imagine?
We have such an example in the province of Salzburg. It's not a national database. In this case, it's a regional database. In this case, the database is combined with the subsidy scheme. So the manufacturers must have their products in the database if the building should be entitled to receive additional subsidy for better energy performance. And this is a very good motivation for them to enter their product in the database. So the database is quite complete in terms of renewable energy technologies. But of course, it's not, as the database is now, it's not possible to make it mandatory because of this requirement of not putting a barrier to free movement of goods and services. But I think it's a very good start. There is one problem. The database started a few years ago, and of course there are no products registered which are used in existing buildings. So this is a little bit, let's say, this is a specific challenge in terms of existing buildings, addressing existing buildings and major renovation projects.
Okay, so it's focused on new buildings rather than okay, understood. But at the same time, I mean, the products are I imagine more or less the same across the country. It's a regional database, but the products would probably be available, or at least most of them, also in other areas of the country, even if it's not. There's not a contractual obligation to use products from the database. The information is useful for the rest of the country, right?
Of course, the information is useful for the country, but it's let's say the database operator is a regional government, so it's not a national organization. But of course, most probably the database will cover most of the products available or used in Austria, and it's free, so you can access it very easily. It's in the internet, published in the internet.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I see no other questions for the moment, at least. So I will make François Durier the presenter for the next presentation.